I ain't drunk. I'm just drinking.
But you're so high.
Oh man, you know I ain't high.
But you're so high.
Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then.
But you're so high.
You ought to be ashamed of
Stay
yourself.
drunk all
Oh,
the
come
time.
on now, you all don't feel like that.
Hey kids, I'm back. And you're like, fuck, he never leaves, right? Happy Saturday night, bam. I hope you guys had a good Friday and week and what. See that? Damn. All right. Anyway, this is, you guys have heard me rant on forever about, hang on, need a drink. Farvew antennas. And I absolutely love Farvew antennas. Just fucking love them. Anyway, I decided, remember this guy? This is my 3-turn helical. I literally do not use a patch anymore. The reason I picked a 3-turn, if you guys go back and watch my antenna videos, the reason I picked a 3-turn was the bandwidth was still wide enough that it would work kind of like a patch or have the same principles, but I'd have really good linear range, right? And I've been using this thing for, what's it been, 4 weeks maybe? And this is the one that I went 4,000 feet with EWAD and just, and I had no breakup. I didn't show you guys the DV. Hey, I did show you DVR that. But just the other day I was flying and it was raining and I was doing the EWAD motor tests and no breakup at all. And I'm like, 1,500 feet away, 1,500 feet up in the air. And it's just, fucking love them. So what we're going to do tonight, bam, we're going to build one. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Now, very, very simple. I'll put the link in the description for this piggy. She's about 15 bucks. And yeah, there's nothing to this. Fucking stupid easy. But my buddies over at Farvew. Now, I want you guys, I bought one of these for me and one of these for Blackhawk, who he's supposed to be coming overnight to pick this thing up. So maybe he'll stop in while we're doing this. I ain't building his because he never watches my shit, and this is gonna make him watch my shit. So he's like, "How do you build this, dude?" I go, "I don't know. Go watch my fucking channel." Damn. But anyway, I bought both of these. These were not gifts from Farvew or anything, but I do talk to the Farvew guys once in a while, and they're fucking cool. He's like, he sends me an email. One of the brothers from Farvew, I can't remember if it was Dave or one of the other guys, and he says, "Hey, due to the hurricane, we ran out of SMA connectors, and we haven't been able to ship your 2 antennas to you out yet, but we wanted you to know." Because you probably knew I cuss about them online, and which isn't true. I love them. Those guys are just fucking awesome. And he goes, "But that's okay, because I threw a couple extra goodies in there for the wasted time for you." And one of the videos I did a long time ago, I can't even fucking remember what it was I made a crack. Well, it might have been the build video for the pagoda, I can't remember. But I made a crack. It's like, fuck, they didn't give me my Farvew sticker. I love my Farvew stickers. I put them on my goggles. They're just cool. So he put in a baggie a whole bunch of, usually you get one. Look at it. That is fucking badass, kids. Thank you, brother, for that. That's made my day. I'm going to put that on my rum mug. And he sent me something else, too. I'm not even going to talk about it because it's a breakout box, but, it's cool, too. But he also sent me a 10-turn kit. Now, I fucked it up. I put the wrong kind of super glue in here, so it kind of oxidized and got all that white stuff. That's okay. It still works fine. I built this up tonight. I got the package today, Saturday. I got the package today, and he threw this kit in. And this is not they just did this out of the goodness of their hearts because they know nobody in their right fucking mind is going to use this for a quadcopter, okay? 10-turn helical has a bandwidth of about this, but for drones like EWAD and for my wing drone, which, guys, my wing did come in the other day, it's still sitting in the fucking box. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. This is going to be awesome. So he threw this stuff in the box, didn't put in a note or nothing. He just knew I would know. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I built this up tonight before I took my smoking hot wife out to dinner, and just freaking cool. I mean, look at that. Look at that shit. You can talk to the Enterprise and get a Klingon pregnant with that shit. That is fucking... I can't wait to try this thing. Anyway, I'm going to show you cats how to build one of these. Now, the link in the description, this is like, I think you can buy it pre-built. And I think it's like 15 bucks, $14.95. And it is open source. So if you guys have a 3D printer and you want to print one of the, print up the grid and cut a coil and make your own thing, go for and put this on. But really, guys, by the time you print this, by the time you hand wrap a coil, put on an SMA, put on the coax, spend 13 bucks and get the sticker. Really? I'm just saying. Okay, so what we're going to do, helping hands. Bam. Let's see here. Get this fucking thing. You know, you think you guys, I've put on like, I don't know how many videos. You think I would like prepare better, but I don't. I just fucking wing it. I'm like, let's do this. And while I'm getting this set up, I was supposed to do a build with Nicola today for the Flyegg 130. That is going to be rain or shine, death or die tomorrow. We're going to do that at 4 p.m. my time. So I actually should have the pig uploaded by 7 or 8. And that is happening tomorrow. I bailed on him today. It was my fault. I had a bunch of family shit going on that popped up. And yeah, but anyway, that's not part of this. But that is coming up tomorrow. It will be online tomorrow night. It's not going to be live, I don't think. But anyway, one thing that I do when I'm soldering plate or thick wires, I actually changed my soldering tip. And that's pretty good because I'm pretty fucking lazy, really. But I put a wider tip on there because we need to cover more heat. Now, there is a Farvew video of a guy building these. I'm not impressed with it. No offense, guys. Love you. But it's like, whatever. It's not fun. Nobody cusses. Nobody drinks. Come on, guys. I'm just teasing. All right, so I do build mine a little bit different than they do. Imagine that, right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to take our dish plate. This is the reflective surface that catches your frequencies, okay? We're going to take this, we're going to put it in the helping hands, bam, like that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And what you're going to do, there is 2 sides to this. One's copper, one's nothing. One's, you know, PDB. I'm sorry. Man, PCB, sorry. Damn, I do that every time. Now what we're going to do, a lot of glare there. See, I'm an audio guy. Fuck video. All right, here we go. You know why Yoda knows so much? Because he sits on my bench all the time. All right, so we're going to take some solder. And we're going to put a little bit of solder around this outer edge. So preheat. And it's going to look kind of crummy. Bam, look at that. Woo, pretty. That's all you got to do, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our coax that this thing came with. We're going to take a razor blade. You're going to watch JJ Rotogeek cut the fuck out of himself. And you want to put about 1.5 mils out. I do suggest you do this on a table, not your thumb. Okay, very carefully. You do not want to cut your thumb or the coax. Bam, right? And I just got a message from Blackhawk. He's on his way. How cool is that? And the other side, I'm going to do about 1.5 mils as well. You can measure it if you want. It's not that anal, guys. You don't have to do it. You don't have to measure. I'll measure mine, see what it comes out. I've built so many Farvew antennas. I've probably built more fucking Farvew antennas than Farvew. Oh, and guys, I know you're watching, the Farvew cats. Build us something good for our micro dipoles. I have had so many requests for people wanting Farvew pagodas that are smaller, that'll fit this, or get me a decent dipole. Oh, I will so promote you. I will put it on every fucking micro I got. And kids, I got a lot of micros. So what we're going to do now is you're going to take one of these ends. I'll measure it for you just for shits and giggles. Don't get my accuracy, yeah, or whatever. We're looking at 2 mil. 1.5's good, but like I said, don't get anal about it, right? So now what you want to do here is pre-tin, hang on, a little bit on the end. This is kind of weird, but trust me, it works. Okay, so get it good and hot. Get a little bit of solder on there. Bam, good. Now, take off your disc. And what you're going to do, that soldered pre-end, you're going to slide it through here. And you're going to force this fucking coax flush. I usually bring mine up a little bit. Just a little bit, like that. I think the guys at Farvew bring theirs flush, but yeah. Utah, they're in Utah, and I love those guys. We clown around, you know, they're good guys, but it's like Utah's a fucked up state, man. That's for another video. But anyway, now what we do is we're going to take more solder, and we're going to solder around the casing of that coax to this shield. Because this is a shield. Alright? So, that's what we're going to do with that. So I'm going to take some good wall solder here, and we're going to do this. Nothing but a peanut. Make sure you get your flow. Damn. Pretty. Damn, look at that. That's a beautiful thing. See it? See it? See it? Do you see it? All right. Next trick. Ooh, that's hot. Next trick. We're going to move this out of the way. Now we're going to do... I'm going to build this one different because you see this super glue CA. You know, I'm like the only modeler that uses fucking Gorilla Glue. I don't use real CA. But it left all this white oxidation, which is not going to hurt the antenna whatsoever, guys. It just looks like a bag of ass. I'm going to use epoxy on the next one. Now, mind you, I've already built this one. You can see I got a little bit of it on that one, too. Which, who cares? It's not a fashion contest. Kids, if you're wearing this on your fucking goggles out in the field and you're worried about how it looks, you need to look a little deeper. Just saying. Okay, so anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, if you look at your base plate with your plastic, there's 3 holes. That one hole, the big one, guys, goes like that. That's all you're going to do. And these 2 little ones, you get the stem protector like that. Bam. All right. What I'm going to do, they say use CA on everything. I am going to use CA on this. Shake this shit up. This stuff's made in Cincinnati, actually. And I need to go down to that factory and walk in there as the robot guy and say, hey, fuck, dude, I'm going to hook you guys up. This is the Gorilla Glue Gel, which I do like a little bit better because it sticks better. That's why I get the white shit. Look at all that. You need, like, the guys at Farvew are watching this like, fuck, dude, you only need 2 drops. I'm like, bigger is better unless it's disease, debt, or ass. Okay? So anyway, that's what we're going to do. Now, one of the things you would want to do, wipe off the excess if you're a little pig like me. I didn't do it very pretty. You don't want your shit sticking, fingers sticking to your disc. All right? You want to get that reasonably centered. Okay? And at the same time, this is what I do. Now, I can't remember. I only watched that video of Farvew building theirs. I watched it in my car one day driving. And my new buddy who's a cop, he's probably like, dude, don't do this shit. I'm like, ah, fuck. All right. I try not to do that anymore. Then I put this here. Bam. Now, hang on. Where's my clamps? I had a bunch of fucking... There. Okay. What I do is I do clamp this. I put one here. And I put one here. Because you're still hitting that center plate. And I put one here. And I put one here. Bam! Look at that. And I let that sit for 5 minutes if you're using CA. If you use epoxy, epoxy is just as good and a whole lot fucking cleaner. Use 5-minute epoxy, and that's what I'm going to do on this bit. And we're going to let that sit and stew for a second. Okay? Put that off camera. Let that glue up. Now, the 3D printed bit. This is easy, but it's kind of fun. This is a 3-turn helical, and this is tuned. So what you want to do, if you look at these are not symmetrical. At least I don't think so. No. One, if you look at these sets, one is lower than the other. You're going to go to that hole first, then around. So what you do is you start your coil here. Stick this in. Do not glue it first. Okay, this is the lower coil, the lower hole. And then that's going to go through that one. And then we're going to put this one in. I'm doing a real half-assed job of this, obviously. Man, I think the other one was easier. The big one. I built these before. I don't know why I'm having a hard time with it. I don't think I've drank enough tonight. Took my smoking hot wife out to dinner and had a few Long Islands. Okay, there we go. You get it started, it kind of works its way out. And then don't force it, because this is a tuned coil. This is not just a fucking spring they got at Ace Hardware, right? This is something, push it down a little bit, push it in, push it in, push it in. Look at that. That's when you know you're dealing with quality. Look how easy that's going in, guys. Fucking Farvew. They're awesome. I love them. And I do all my advertising for Farvew for free because I just think they're fucking cool. All right. There you go. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to let that dry for a second. I'm going to wait for Blackhawk to get here because he's coming from work and he's only like 2 minutes away. So I'm going to pause it right now and we'll be right back. Bam. Oh, Lord fucking help us. Hey, kids. Bam, we're back. I think the glue is good, I think. And Blackhawk's here.
Hey!
Hey, he just got off work. He's quitting that fucking job. It's all good. So, here we go. We are glued, screwed, and tattooed. We are ready to go. I remember when my son was born, my father, who was me times 6, said that. Here's my ex-wife, wife at the time. She's holding this tiny little baby. We're 19, right? Never held a baby in our lives. And she's just like, all fucking hormonal and weird. And my old man, who like literally was me times 4 minus morals. I mean, just, yeah, right? And he's like, oh, and he takes the baby and he's like, yeah, come to Grandpa George's. We'll get you boo screwed and tattooed at 14. Oh, good thing he dead now because she'd have killed him. All right, so last thing we did, the glue is dry on this. And we wrap the helical through the 3D print. Bam! Which we did that already. Now what you're going to do is you're going to solder this little piggy right there. Now, you notice I turned it a lot. Notice that if you look at this, you don't want to do it just right there. Yeah, I suppose you could. I'll show you why in a minute. I built a few of these now. If you bend this all the way up, Blackhawk's like, what the fuck are you even doing?
I'm watching.
I'm actually going to cut it. I'm going to line up the posts-ish. Doesn't have to be great. And don't glue the fuckers yet, guys. Okay? See that? You're going to solder that coil to that point right there. Okay? So I'm going to cut this. And like I said, the Farvew video, and I've already talked about the Farvew guys. And they're watching this right now because they're my friends. And your video sucks. Your build video on this is... You need to get somebody to crack a joke or have a drink or some shit. Okay, here.
Maybe we can just...
I'll work for you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So there we go. All good. I cut that a little short. That's okay. This is actually my spare, but whatever. So now what we're going to do... We're going to hand fit and push these little dudes in. Bit of a cunt. I'm going to bend this out. But the Farvew video, they do it a little bit differently. That's okay. I don't like the whole using the CA glue thing. I really don't. I'm going to use epoxy on this one. And you guys see how tight this goes in? You don't need a lot of glue. It's pretty fucking nice.
Is there a reason you're using the epoxy over the glue?
Yep, I'm going to show you. Blackhawk just showed up, so he didn't see my Venus pecker.
Oh, hell.
See the CA leaves an oxidation?
Oh, absolutely.
And if you look at my original one, there's a little bit. But I was in a hurry to get my smoking hot wife on a date, and I just put a glob of shit. Farvew guys are like, man, look at that shit. You got fucking dandruff. He's head and shoulders on that. But anyway, it won't affect the signal at all. It just looks like a bag ass. But like I said a second ago, if you're wearing this on your fucking head and you're worried about looking good,
oh shit,
you got bigger fucking problems.
You got huge problems.
So my first one turned out pretty nice, but this is a drone only antenna. 10 turn. You're not using this on a quad. Okay, use that on a quad. Bad things are gonna fucking happen. So the goal here now is to I left my trusty little pointer in my in my desk in the house. Anyhow, is to put this wire onto the positive lead of your coax. What we think of as positive. It's not really positive, and I'm just going to bend that up a little bit. Bam, just like that, kids. And then we're going to take some high heat and we're going to solder. Put a blob of solder on there. You do not want this coil touching the ground. That will be bad. Okay, so pull this over. I told you this shit was easy. This ain't nothing but a peanut. So I'm gonna put this in here. Bam. And we're gonna. Oh, look at that. See, I need to someday Blackhawk
Hey,
for
get
Christmas.
under the camera there, man.
I know, right, fucker. One of these days, I'm gonna buy a real camera for doing videos for you guys, but not until Patriot Blades takes off and people donate one to me, which will be never. If you guys get a GoPro, don't send it to me. Use it on your bird. Okay. So now, I need more than that, kid. Now, one thing Blackhawk didn't see, I changed my tip. I put a nice wide tip on there because when you're trying to get heat out, you guys might not be able to see this, but you'll get the gist. Preheat the coil first. Bam. Nice. Look at that. Take that shit to prom, kids. Look at that shit. Now, that is not touching the plate. One thing I'm going to do just for shits and grins, I'm not going to cover the whole thing in conformal coat because you don't want any deflection in the wave. But I am going to put a touch right underneath here, just in case in the backpack or something it gets squished down. You don't want this thing grounding out or bad things are going to happen. Bam, done. Okay, that's it. Now, for gluing, what they suggest you do, I believe, and forgive me, Farvew guys, like I said, I watched your video when I was driving. I didn't really pay attention to it. What you want to do is, they say take some CA glue, super glue, Gorilla Glue, whatever the fuck you want. Put some here, and you want to put some here, 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 and here, and maybe a little bit on the top. This thing snaps together pretty fucking tight, kids. You probably don't even need to glue it. I mean, I had to do some fucking Bardwell jack action to get that in there. But I am going to epoxy this, but I'm not going to waste your time with that. I'll put little drops of epoxy. A real good trick for putting epoxy in tight corners like that, take a Q-tip, cut the fuzzy bit off the Q-tip, mix up your epoxy, and use the cottony part of the Q-tip stem, wrap it in there, and then slide it through there and drag it through, and it'll put it right in there perfect. Nice. You won't get a nasty fucking mess. So now the next thing, here's another trick that I do. Bam. I take... Oh, fuck. See, guys, this is why you should prepare. See, Blackhawk prepares all his shit. He's a good monkey. I don't do that.
One of these days I'm going to come over and clean up your area for you, but then you're not going to be able to find shit.
I won't find shit. Now, this build's pretty much just about done. All we got to do is put our pin on and our SMA connector and our little piece of doohickey here. But what I do to add a little bit of stability on mine, I cut it right about to there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Don't get all Blackhawk about it. It ain't got to be nothing but a peanut. Okay. Bam. Check this shit out. You know me, I always got these fucking antenna tricks that add a little bit of stability. So slide that pig on there. Give it a little bit of heat. Now the trick to this one is, don't get it stupid tight. Doesn't need to be, I mean can. Then slide the next one over it. That's 2. In case you watch Bardwell's channel and can't count. I can't help it. It's been a while. I've been pretty nice, Bardwell.
No, you got to get your jabs in. I mean, it's been what? I mean,
at least
2,
a
3
day.
weeks? Okay.
I bashed him yesterday, and
okay.
Blackhawk don't watch my shit, so he don't know what happened last night with me and Chris. But anyway, Blackhawk's gonna be on those videos too. And yeah, yes he is. So now, what we're gonna do? Stick this little piggy in here. This is easy. This is nothing but a peanut for you guys that have never wired an SMA connector before. Hopefully you can see this. It always looks better on my computer than it does on the phone, so I don't feel too bad here. Now, you want to, this part's tricky. Takes a little bit of a knack. Right here, this coax, you want to preheat it and put a very little bit of solder on it. Bam, just like that. Just coat it. You don't want a shit ton on there, Blackhawk.
Hey.
Okay.
I gotta throw my poo. Come on now.
Solder's like a monkey. All right. No, he's gotten a lot better. When I first met this dude, it was like fucking watching stick welding. I was like, what the hell? Okay, so now what you want to do, you want to slide this little SMA, this little bit here, onto here. Bam. Now,
You want to be pretty used to handling
slide
things
little
that small.
bits.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I know. Always have to use a dildo with your old lady because never mind. Anyway.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so
That's what that guy's for.
yeah, I said that you can get a Klingon pregnant with that motherfucker. Look at that. From Earth. Okay, so now what we're gonna do? Notice I put solder on that coax lead, but nothing on this brass lead. Here's the beauty of it. Take your soldering iron, make sure it's clean-ish, and then heat up that copper lead, and it will do some inductance and solder itself to the coax. Because the solder on the coax on the inside, and push down on it a little bit, make sure it's seated, is going to melt on the inside, and then when that piggy cools, you ain't gonna be pulled off.
Oh, yeah.
Watch me burn my shit. Oh, fuck. See that little booger there, kids? Bam, right there. You do not want that. You'll not be able to get your connector on. Just clean off your iron. It's been a long day. I didn't even take a shower till like fucking 3. Okay,
Damn.
right there, bam. Just take your soldering iron, wick it off a little bit. Now you should be able to slide this over. Look at that, nothing but a peanut. You know you're in all the way when you can see that little thing you just soldered on. Bam. Now what you want to do, put it at a downward angle, like that. Oh, wait, I just about fucked up. Smoking hot white alert, wife alert. Woohoo! She's so shy. Come out here. She's in a bikini right now. You guys should see this shit.
It's like 30 degrees outside.
She's drinking. It's hot out. I'm like sweating. Now I'm really sweating because I saw her tail. Damn. Okay. Slide on that little piece of heat shrink that they gave you in the kit. Now I put that on. Then slide this on. Sorry about that. Haven't drank enough. Okay. Okay. Now put it in your... You do want helping hands for this, guys. Trust me. Now, you want this at a little bit of an angle. Pitch about 25 degrees. It doesn't matter. Then you're going to want to heat this up and drift it around. So you're going to apply heat first. Then bring your solder in. And don't even move your iron. Move the solder like you're painting. And if the solder melts, you know it's hot enough. If you move your soldering iron around to melt the solder, that's only melting the solder, not melting or not heating up the base metal. If you keep your soldering iron stationary and then move the solder around and it's melting and feeding in by what they call a capillary effect, that's when you know you got a fucking badass joint. Now I slide this little piece of heat shrink. If it didn't get too hot, which it probably did, because I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, there we go. Bam, like that. Woo, shit. That is not for the tender-hearted, kids. That's hot. And I put a little bit of dude there. Oh, look at that shit. That is a pretty little fucking antenna right, Jeff. So with this extra, you don't have to do this step, you know, where I put the 2 bits of heat shrink on there. That just gives you a little bit more rigidity when you do your bend to put it on your goggles, and it helps keep the coax from splitting on the inside, maybe a little bit. I don't know if it's a lot, but it does work. So yeah, that's it. Any questions? You didn't see the first half.
No, but it looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
even
really
for coming halfway through.
This, in my opinion, is easier than building the pagoda.
Oh, hands down. Just from this little bit that I've
Did
seen.
you build the pagoda yet?
I attempted to rebuild one. No, the
Farvew.
The Real-Act does not fit in the Farvew mold.
No, because Real-Act's crap.
Right, exactly.
Farvew.
Yes,
If you
all
guys,
the way.
if you messed up and you bought a Real-Act, and if you fuck it up out in the field, it's really easy to fix. You throw it out.
Yes.
And you buy a Farvew. And here's a real good example, and I said this in one of my other videos, and you guys at Farvew are going to love this. Blackhawk and I were out flying. He's the only guy I fly with physically. And we're out flying, and he crashed or just something. What was it? Your signal went to shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Something.
I kept getting brownouts and all kinds of bullshit.
And he swapped antennas. He had a couple Real-Acts. And I said, here, I always carry a couple I sleep with Farvew fucking antennas under my pillow, right? And I said, here, take one of mine. You put that thing on, bam, it's like looking through a crystal ball. And he was sold on that shit. I'm telling you, kids.
And I went back, actually, after we had that flight session, I went and did a little researching on it, and I found where I believe it was actually possibly Martin Beard had posted, and he had done a follow-up on the quality of different builds of his design. And he could not attest to the accuracy of the Real-Act design because he said it did not meet one-to-one to what he designed. So after seeing that, the only one he really preached about was Farvew. I've been with him ever since.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and like I said, I'm not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. This is how I'm gonna glue mine. The first pagoda I ever tried was a Farvew. It just was. I don't know how or why I found it. Old lady must have been wearing Farvew underwear or something that night, but I found it and I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. And I've known people that have tried other antennas like Blackhawk, my buddy here, and I'm like, I went 4,000 feet with EWAD and with a little cheesy piece of shit VTX. There, I'm glued. Fuck. That's all I'm doing. I take pretty good care of my antennas. I don't bash them around too much, so I don't need a there. You know, it's 3D printed shit, guys. Take your soldering iron, make some plastic rivets. Bam. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, I don't even use a patch anymore. I've got the, fuck, what's that, Menace?
Yeah.
Menace. I've got the Menace patch, bam, which is awesome. I've got the, I had the Farvew triple feed patch, which is really awesome. It's better than the Menace.
That's what I'm running right
I did have one, and I mailed it to Gimbal Guy down in Texas.
now. Oh, okay.
He's like, where can I get one of those awesome, you know, he's like, I don't remember what he even asked me, because, you know, he can order it. And Texas is closer to Utah than here. And I'm like, you know what, dude, I'm going to send you mine because I love it. But I use this because it has a relatively, like I said in the beginning of the video, relatively wide bandwidth. I get great coverage even behind me with this, even though it's directional. But man, I can go out a cat's mile with this motherfucker and I have no problem. So it's what I use. I don't use my patch anymore at all. That's why I bought one for Blackhawk, wherever it's at, right here.
Hell yeah.
There it is. And I bought an extra for me because this is going to my boss cams or in case I break my other one somehow. And then this one goes on my Aomways. Now pay attention, kids, when you order this to get a right hand or left hand. Remember that. Here's a good trick to remember on clover leaves or these. If it's spinning to the left, it's a right hand. If it's spinning to the right, it's a left hand. If you look at how this coil is, you guys see the end of this coil. It's going up, and it's pointing. It's going to the left. It's pointing right though, but it's kind of confusing. This is a right-hand circular polarized. That's a right-hand circular polarized. That's a right-hand circular polarized.
So basically, it's kind of which way the tip is pointing at the very end. I mean, you're pointing up into the right.
Pretty
versus up
much,
into the
yeah.
left.
It gets confusing. The whole RP, SMA, blah, 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 blah. But $13, kids. 14 bucks, I think. Sorry, $14.95. What the fuck? But you get stickers. And like I said, Farvew made out with me in a good way. They sent me a whole baggie full of stickers, like I showed you in the beginning. There. Because I bitched. I said, you gave me stickers. I said it in a movie, and they sent me a whole bag of them. Love you guys. And we're going to check out our Vulcan penis. I'm going to try this on, it might be my drone wing, which I have in the box over here that I haven't even built yet, but knowing me, it'll probably take an hour. And then, or EWAD. Some drone. I got another drone build coming up too. So anyway, hope this was helpful. Go buy these, kids. If you don't have a patch yet, or you have a shitty patch, fuck the patch. Just smoke. Ha! No. Get one of these. I'm telling you. Money in the bank. Any last words?
No, I think you covered it pretty well.
There you go.
Get the damn antenna.
Get it. I wouldn't mislead you guys. If you don't like it, tell me why. Because you're drinking more than me. Peace out. Keep shining side up. Have fun. Bye.